Okay, so we have the main floor laid out right now, and what we're going to do is start working on the lower level. The lower level in this thing, we have a basic rough idea of what it needs to look like, but how we do that is some of the easiest ways to start doing a lower level is to copy all of your exterior main level walls down and use those as a basis for your foundation. This house is going to be a full basement, meaning there's no walkout. So what we'll do is we'll come in here, and this is where good grouping techniques really come into play, because we'll come in and we'll be able to turn on our grouping layer, and we'll find that most all of our exterior, except for a couple little parts here that I added after the fact, right there and there, are already grouped together. Uh, and so we can basically just select those, and since they're all a part of each other, and they're going to be useful that way, we'll just grab that, and what I'll do is I'll just actually group those right now. And so they're grouped together, so that if you were to move them over here, say for example, they'd all come over and they'd all be a part of the same element. Now it's important to be aware of your grouping, and always try and group things together. If you have an opportunity to group something, do so. Grouping's a very powerful feature. And you just hit Command G to group something. If you if you want to ungroup it, you hit Command U, I believe here. Let's see. And it will then suspend the groups. Right there. So it's grouped. And then if you ungroup it, it'll then suspend your groups. But we want them all grouped. So now, additionally, if your items are grouped together, you can see they're all obviously all going to select. Sometimes you don't want to do that, so you can come up here to the toolbar, and your toolbar may be in different locations. I tend to keep it up at the top because different screens want to move your windows around, and the best way to keep these in the same location is to keep them up at the top where they're all linked together. But you'll notice right here that if that button right there says enable suspend groups. Additionally, you can turn that on and off by hitting Option G, and you see that it changed. That means the grouping is turned off. Option G to turn it back on. You need to learn and remember that key, because you'll use that a lot. It's a very useful key, especially when you're trying to maintain good working groups. Hang on one second. Bit of a cough here, so I'm just trying to keep the crud out of my throat. Anyway, so we have our exterior walls all selected, so we're going to hit Command C to copy it, and we're going to go down a level. We're going to hit Command V to paste it in there. And you know what? Now, so we pasted it in our exterior walls. Now, one of the things we're going to want to do is hit Option 8, and that's going to bring up our story settings. Now this one has already been configured so that the distance between the floors is 9 foot 10 and 1/8. That's based off of a 9 foot tall foundation wall and an 8 foot 9 1/2 inch walls themselves. So what we're going to want to do here is select all these walls, and since they've been set at 9 feet, which is the main level, we're going to change that from 8 to 8 foot 9 and a half, 8 foot 9 and a half. And the walls will be 8 inches thick because they're foundation walls now. And we'll come down here and change this pen, the cut fill pen right here, to 11. The reason we're going to do that is because when we go in and we change the fill, when we get to that point, we're going to change the empty fill over to a foundation fill, and we want that foundation fill to be yellow, or pen 11. But make sure that everything's correct there. Hit OK, and we're good to go. The other thing we're going to want to do here is come over to your Doors tool and hit Command A to select all and delete them, and then hit Command A on the window to select your window tool, hit Command A and delete them time as well. You'll see that here we've done some work to make the interiors line up on the drawings, and so we'll need to clean them up. And so make sure that your grouping is turned off. So hit Option G, turn off grouping, and just select those and hit Command Option I. So take your thumb and rest it right across the right side Command Option. Use your index finger and hit the I key, and it intersects it. Same thing, Command Option I and Command Option I. Okay, so you can see something happened here. We hit Command Option I, but it messed this up. What you do is you select this wall, and you have two options. Basically, we're going to adjust it to this wall. The easiest way to do that I found is to hit the number 3 key, and you'll notice when I hit the number 3 key, it's set to the wall tool. Okay, and then we hold down the Command button and select on the wall that we want to adjust it to, and we adjust it. And you see now that it cleaned that up. And so what we're doing is, what happened was the wall wasn't adjusted all the way through, so it was intersecting here and here, but this one wasn't a clean intersection. And so by adjusting it to the edge of the wall, like we just did, it cleans it up and you have a clean intersection point. And so we'll just go around here and we'll just fix all the rest of these. So Command Option I, same thing, Command Option I, intersect. Sometimes you can select multiples and they'll go that way. Command Option I. And there you go, we're done. Easy enough. Okay, now that we have our foundation walls all set in there, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to set in our interior walls, the furred out interior wall. And what we do is we come over here to the exterior walls, change it to the interior wall layer, hit Command T to go into the settings, change that from 9 foot to 8 foot 9.5. Come over, tab over, or just go over here and select, and change that to 4 inches. And make sure that these are correct. So that's correct. That's correct. And it can be an empty fill right now. It's just fine. And then hit OK. And then what we're going to do is sometimes it's a little bit of guesswork depending on how this clicks in. But what you do is you type the E key, and you'll notice that next to the cursor it brings up the offset tool, and you hold down the spacebar button, and you click once, and you see that it's giving you the offset. It's saying how much do I want to offset. So you offset at 4 inches, which is the thickness of the wall, and you set it in. But you can see what happens here is it offset the wrong direction. It actually pushed it this way. So how we fix that is we come up here, and you can see that the wall is being put into this tray. We want to put it to this way. So click that, and then obviously undo it, and then do it all over again. So hit the E key, hold down the spacebar button, and then click your mouse, and then type R0-4, and now you see that it's set in there properly, and it runs the length of runs the interior perimeter of the foundation wall. Very easy to do. Okay, we're going to stop right here, and then we'll continue on in just 1 second.